Hey y'all, this is Coolcry, and today we're checking out where the water tastes like wine.
Night has fallen and you're weary from travel. Stars fill the sky above, and in front of you is a brightly lit wooden house, the only building you've seen for days.
I don't know much about this game except that it's a storytelling game and that you meet people and they tell you their stories and you travel, and it takes place during the Depression in America. Um, I suppose we could just get right into it. I guess I go to the house.
You walk toward the house, hearing the sounds of laughter and talk as you reach the door and push it open.
Oh, I wonder what's going on here. Oh, I guess that's me.
You sit down and join the game. It's a cheap buy-in, and not many of the other players are very good. The lady fiddling with dice gets good cards, but has no real strategy. The man to your right seems to just hold on to the highest cards he has, regardless of suit or any consideration of matches.
This is basically how I play poker, so, like, am I any better?
The man in gray across from you, though, he's good. He already had the largest pile of coins when you bought in, and while your winnings grow quickly, you can't quite catch him. One by one, the other players leave the table, sometimes with pique or with wry humor, leaving their winnings with you or the man in gray.
Alright. I guess I am pretty good at poker.
Finally, it's just you and the man in gray. He looks at you, full of humor, and winks. Last hand?
I don't think I can pick anything else, so yeah, I'm in.
He deals, you draw, and look at your hand. It's good. It's great. The best hand, in fact. A royal straight flush. Spades. Aces high.
Hey, this isn't gonna end well for me, is it? Just because I know how these things go.
But the man in gray pushes forward his whole pile. You're not sure exactly how much it is, but it's more than you've got. You can't match that. The man in gray stops you. Now, if you like, I'll let you wager your word. I know you'll be good for it. Just promise you'll pay the debt, however I ask.
I don't like where this is going already. I'm gonna check cards.
Yep. 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. All spades. The man in gray smiles. All right, then. I'll call.
What's with the knife? Okay. All right.
Well, your luck wasn't so good, was it? That's quite the hand, but not for the game we're playing. I'm afraid you owe me. Your life, sure, but more than that, your labor.
I just bet my life. Okay. Alright, Mr. Wolfie. Alright. I like this music. Hey. Alright, let's see.
You see, this land is built on stories. It's one big story, this country, woven of many small ones. Few of the small ones are strictly true, and the big story is mostly a lie.
Alright. This is my first time playing it, so I don't know if the text is like supposed to move that slow. But I'm just gonna let the text finish filling itself out every time, just in case I might have missed something. But this is pretty interesting so far.
All the stories and songs and myths and legends start somewhere, with a seed. As they're told and retold and passed around, they grow and change to become the stories we know.
I'm really digging this music. And this, I like this artwork. I felt like he was supposed to be a bit more intimidating. I mean, he's got the mouth is a little intimidating, but like, his eyes look friendly. Like you can talk to him about things.
To pay your debt to me, you'll be carrying stories, finding the seeds first and then spreading them, telling them onwards so they can begin gaining strength. This is no light task. Stories are heavy.
Alright.
Most of the stories you'll find will be small seeds. They might be true, but they'll grow wild and unbelievable with the telling. The more important stories are the true ones, the ones people will tell you about their own lives. Those often get lost in the weaves of the big story.
Huh.
The more true stories you can find and tell, the more you can weave that truth into the big story. Tarnish it a bit perhaps, but isn't a dingy and battered truth better than a shining lie?
You're not wrong. I'm intrigued.
Now, go ahead. You tell me a story. I'll trade you some information about your task.
Oh, tarot cards. I know tarot cards. I kind of like the world. Oh, tell the story of the parting of a cloud, a fog to reveal a brief glimpse of a land of promising victory. I wonder what these other ones are. Tell the story of the endless series of doors of different kinds, each leading only to more doors. Tell the story of the northbound train, blinking its giant eye as it crawls through the night. Tell the story of tossing a pair of bone dice on a blood-red velvet table and come snake eyes and wink at you. Tell the story of a black and gray city where every building is filled with dissected corpses. I'm gonna go with the world.
Your deepest desires, your greatest wish, heaven? Big Rock Candy Mountain? El Dorado, the promised land, that place just over the ridge where they all say that the water tastes just like the sweetest wine.
Hey.
Well, I don't know where that is.
That's the name of the game, eh? You don't? But you said you go wise wolf. Even though you have a skull right next to you, and that should freak me out, but it doesn't. How about we just play another game of cards? We can bet again, it'll be nice. I mean, you don't have to own my soul if you don't want to. But I suppose you want to own my soul, so I can collect stories for you.
It's supposed to be somewhere in this country. Ask the people you meet.
I will.
They're all searching for the same thing.
I expected that. I like the one about the train. Between the train and the tower. I mean, three stabs. Tower. I'm gonna go with three stabs.
Travel? That's your job. Wander from place to place, gather those stories and spread them. People get bored hearing the same stories over and over. But an old cliche in one state might be a rip-roaring new yarn in another.
Alright.
I'll strip away your flesh to make the journey easier, but still you'll feel pain.
Wait, what? So I actually become a skeleton, is what you're telling me.
Hunger, weariness, thirst, and despair. They're all part of stories, the part not often told.
That makes sense. No one really wants to talk about the bad things they go through.
And death, yes. But don't worry. As long as your task remains, you'll come back.
So I can die. I just come back because you know you own my life. That's comforting. Not at all, but comforting. Let's see. I don't like the doors one. It's really, I don't know why it bothers me, but it does.
It's just luck. Funny how bad luck seems to follow the folks who already have problems aplenty.
Not
Well,
wrong.
try your luck out there in this country. See how the dice treat you. It's not all bad. You'll have to work hard, but I'll give you the gift for seeing the true shapes of people.
Alright.
Not many who can do that. You'll sometimes have to make choices about what kind of story you're finding. Is it a love story or a tragedy?
Oh.
Don't gather too many of one kind, though. This grand story needs variety.
Alright.
Go on your way, Seeker. Maybe we'll meet again, or maybe not.
I hope we do. I think. I'm not sure how I think about you.
Either way, it'll be an experience for you.
I like experiences. I say as all this befalls me.
I'm jealous in some ways.
Are you? Because you know you're the one doing this to me.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
Oh, look at me. Alright, I've never played this game before. How do I move? There we go.
Well, I'm gonna scroll my name on the bare bones of the earth. I'm gonna dig my heels into the ground. 'Cause when that very man come for to tally up my worth, I won't leave much
Of course,
behind
that
to
little house
drag
is
it down.
This bungalow is being ransacked. There's furniture piled in the front yard, ammunition heaped under the mailbox, and a crowd of clean-cut men ripping apart a car in the driveway. The two heavily armed, mud-caked women leaning over the porch railing share the same bored grin. One shouts at you. Lend a couple innocent gals a cigarette?
Sure? No? I don't know. Sure?
You're about to hand her a smoke when those men draw pistols and shove you hard into the dirt. You know these girls? They demand. Once they've dumped your bag out into the road, they decide you're harmless. If you were selling booze too, you'd have a lot more cash, sneers one. On the porch behind him, the two bootleggers are fingering their empty rifles, grinning in disappointment.
By, I'll see them far and long. 'Cause when the night come down for to take me hand in hand, this will be my tale, my vagrant song. This will be my tale, my vagrant song. Ooh, 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 ooh.
I'm sure. Oh, it's actually getting dark. There's like a day-night cycle.
They don't come every year, you know. The old man is sitting at the edge of a rotting old pier, crooked legs dangling over the water. He watches a pair of seagulls preen and groom each other on a rock just off the shore.
I wonder why the seagulls don't come every year.
Just when the fishing is going to be good. He taps great, black, thick globs of spent tobacco out of a huge ceramic pipe. I got another year, I guess. Another year of this town being here, he replies, letting a grin spread across his face. If the seagulls came, that means enough fish to keep it in place.
Huh.
The woman walks the small town square
Oh, she's
with the poise
pretty.
of Betty Davis. The confident stride and inimitable mannerisms elevating the sidewalk into a plush Hollywood carpet. And wrapped around her neck, a yellow velvet ribbon, bright as an ocean sunrise. You question a well-dressed man parked outside an oyster house. Prudish woman. I took her on a fine date and she didn't remove so much as a ribbon. Excuse me, can you step back from the coupe? That's the spirit. You decide to seek a second opinion.
Yeah, because I mean, was she supposed to? Dude, what's your problem?
You talk with a waitress smoking outside a diner. Something funny about her. Just showed up one day. Doesn't work, doesn't live anywhere as far as I know. Just around. Myself, I'd love to know who made all her beautiful clothes.
I'm good.
You ask the woman if you may join her at a public bench. You may. Lovely outside, isn't it? Her eyes are a beautiful shade of brown. Beneath the yellow ribbon, a thick, fibrous scar wraps around her throat. Weather like this, it reminds me of Paris.
Oh. I want to know more. Let's keep walking. I could be China. Oh, let's keep walking. Well, I think I'll pause here for now. I just wanted to get into this game and see what it was about. It seems like a beautiful game. So, thanks for watching, guys. See you later.